I rise today on behalf of the Jewish Caucus to request that we adjourn in memory of Congressman John Lewis. A well-known Jewish proverb teaches, "The whole world is a very narrow bridge, and the most important thing is not to be afraid." Over the course of his remarkable life, John Lewis crossed bridges, built bridges, and above all, changed the course of history through his utter fearlessness. Born the son of sharecroppers, John Lewis ascended from humble beginnings to become a hero in the struggle for civil rights and social justice, an inspiration to Americans of all backgrounds, and a moral compass for our nation. Among his many attributes, Congressman Lewis was renowned for his unshakable determination and fearlessness in the pursuit of justice, and his willingness to endure great personal sacrifice in service of what he proudly called good trouble. Arrested more than 40 times during the civil rights movements and numerous times thereafter, including as a member of Congress, Congressman Lewis was repeatedly attacked and viciously beaten, often by police. Yet he never hesitated to continue his activism. Nearly 50 years later, in awarding him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, President Obama observed, "Generations from now, when parents teach their children what is meant by courage, the story of John Lewis will come to mind." For the Jewish community, John Lewis was more than an inspiration. He was our friend, our partner, our champion, and the staunchest of allies for more than half a century. In his autobiography, Congressman Lewis reflected about the kinship he felt towards the Jewish community, forged during a childhood where he witnessed white Southerners pronounce the word Jew with contempt, quote, spitting it out like a bad piece of food. Over the course of his lifetime, Congressman Lewis affirmed that kinship through word and deed. He spoke out powerfully against anti-Semitism, marched in support of Soviet Jewry, founded the Atlanta Black Jewish Coalition, was a prominent and vocal supporter of Israel and the U.S.-Israel relationship, and in the last year of his life was a founding member of the Congressional Caucus on Black-Jewish Relations. On a personal level, Congressman Lewis was also a beloved mentor and friend to many Jewish leaders and political activists, including AIPAC National Political Director Rob Bassin, who served as his chief of staff in the U.S. House of Representatives. For many in the Jewish community, John Lewis was the living embodiment of the quest for justice, loving kindness, and human dignity that are the highest calling of Jewish tradition. As we mourn Congressman Lewis, it feels especially painful that we would lose him during a moment of profound national uncertainty and doubt, as our nation wrestles with a global pandemic, devastating recession, and the unrelenting burden of deadly systemic racism. And yet, in this moment, it seems especially fitting to recall his powerful example of courage and fearlessness in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles. "Do not get lost in a sea of despair," he wrote in 2018. "Be hopeful, be optimistic. Our struggle is not the struggle of a day, a week, a month, or a year. It is the struggle of a lifetime. Never ever be afraid to make some noise and get in good trouble, necessary trouble." Perhaps more than any American of his generation, John Lewis showed us what Reb Nachman taught, that if we can summon the courage to cross the narrow bridge without fear, we can change the world. May the memory of John Lewis be a blessing. On behalf of the Jewish Caucus and in solidarity with the Black Caucus and our sister caucuses, I respectfully request that we adjourn today in his memory.